人間の複雑さや多様性には
移して掃除対象ロックオン塵となってください。
分け山の地
目を閉した夜ですね。ふやふやふほらはっやふ
流れて三月よ輝け防衛モード起動。交渉は終わりです。加速します。絶縁書を移して、
どよめく侵略
お静かに夜ですね。目を閉してはっいやお静かにはっさ
掃除対象1点
どれ
絶縁障壁移して今宵月を捧ぐ殲滅モード。
分け山の地
じゃあ行くよ。
夢なき眠りへようこそ。やっふ
この同点も同点についてコース再生流れて
ゆったどよめく進学火炎を
目を閉じて。はっ。
絶縁障壁満ちて三月よ輝け塵となってください。
響け学の目。
星と深淵無事今日の依頼星と深淵を 東で竹割り西で星、皮を削って骨組みに竹ひご縦横編み上げて。これが衝動を作る時の覚え歌だよ。ナナ、覚えられた？東竹それからクワと朝でパイモン。そんな風に覚えちゃったの？それじゃあ歌になってないじゃない。だって旅人がヨーヨにナナじゃないか。わあ、二人とも来てくれたんだ。街頭祭を祝して。何してるんだ？ナナに衝動の作り方を教えてるんだよ。指先を使うからナナの体を柔らかくする体操にもなるの。指の体操。柔軟なキョンシーになる。へへ、二人もやってみない？そっか。とにかく今年は消灯をたくさん用意しないとね。夜が暗くなりすぎないように。夜が暗くなりすぎるってどういう意味だ？白先生の患者さん、夜道で転んで怪我した。あの日月がなかった。だから真っ暗で何も見えなかった。月がなかったって雲に隠れてたのか？戦書曇月。長生が言ってた。意味は忘れた。沈玉の谷に昔から伝わる神話なんだよ。戦書っていうのは天にいる大きなカエルで月を食べちゃうの。月が食べられちゃったのか？お話だってば。空に本当にカエルがいるわけないでしょ。師匠に聞いたことがあるんだけど、神話っていうのは昔の人がどんな風に世界を見ていたのかを教えてくれるものなんだって。ヨーヨはその夜見れなくて、その後何日も月様を見張ってたけど、ちゃんと夜空に浮かんでた。でもナナが言うには総務士の人が現場を調べてたみたいで、すごく真剣だったんだって。本当に何かあったのかもしれないね。総務士まで動いたのか？ちょっと心配だな。大丈夫。パイモンは飛べる。暗くても転ばない。そうそう、パイモンちゃん。そんなに眉間にシワを寄せちゃダメ。シワが増えてパイバーバになっちゃいますよ。パイバーバなんて、そんなの嫌だぞ。そうは言っても旅人が心配だな。だってオイラと違って飛べないだろ。安心して。ヨーヨたちがたくさんの消灯を作ってリーウェコーを照らしてみせるから。消灯たくさん。特大のやつも。そうそう、忘れてた。今年の特大の消灯は お月様を守る仙人様を祀ったものなんだって。あの方がいればお月様は絶対大丈夫。
あの白い馬がか？もしかして白馬の仙人なのか？
そう、白馬の仙人様だよ。昔はお月様に住んでたんだって。お月様に何かあったらきっと黙ってないよ。
へえ、白馬の仙人がいるっていうのはなんとなく聞いたことあるけど、月に住んでたなんて初めて知ったぜ。
もともとは陳玉の谷のあたりにだけ伝わるお話だったから、知ってる人自体少なかったんだ。でもね、最近リーウェで古い遺物が出土して、月宮の仙人を祀ってた証拠が見つかったの。その頃の人たちもヨーヨたちが解答祭でするみたいに願い事を小刀に書いて空に飛ばしてたらしいよ。そしたら白馬の仙人様が玉でできた立派な車に乗って月から降りてきて、みんなの願いを叶えてくれるんだって。
それっていつの話なんだ？
昔のことだと思う。そうなの、すごいでしょ。この前エンヒシージェは白馬の仙人様も戦書曇月みたいに架空の存在の可能性があるって言ってた。
戦書は架空、白馬も架空。
いやいや、それは間違いじゃ。白馬の仙人様は確かにいなさる。
ハック激怒のロジー、どうして？
ようよや、うちの宿の名前の由来を考え。
ハックって白馬だよね。
その通りじゃ。わしの家系は白馬の仙人様のご加護を受けておるからの。
詳しく教えてくれよ。
ずいぶん昔の話じゃ。わしの先祖がまだ幼かった頃、薬草を取りに出かけた折、不運にも崖から落ちてしもうたが、白馬。
それだけか？
先を焦るでない。白馬の仙人様は先祖を助けた後、月と五穀老化にまつわる物語を語ってくる。ご先祖は物語に夢中になり、時を忘れてしもうたんじゃ。しかし村に知らぬ間に人の世では長い歳月が流れておったのじゃ。さらに不思議なことに、それはなんと全て夢だった。まるで何もなかったかのようじゃった。何が起きたのかは誰にもわからなんだが、いや、空から稲鳴きが聞こえた。先祖が見上げると、一頭の純白の馬が岸壁の隙間を飛び越えていくのが見えたそうじゃ。
ハックの劇をすぐるがごとし。すっごく不思議な話だな。でも作り話じゃないのか？
わしの不肖の息子と同じことを言いよるな。家の系譜に記されとるんじゃ。嘘なわけがなかろう。
ロジーの息子さんもこの話を信じてないの？
言わんでくれ。信心だけならまだしも、うちの屋号まで変えようとするとは親不孝にも程がある。わしも年じゃからそろそろ息子に任せようと思うたんじゃが、ハック激旅という名前は響きが物悲しすぎる。これ話にならん。防除旅館はあんなに遠く離れた場所にあるのじゃぞ。
確かにな。でも元王純領とかに変えた方が人気の宿になりそうだぞ。元王純領、泊まりたい。
そういう問題ではない。先祖は大事にせんといかんじゃろう。じゃから小刀に願い事を書いた。白馬の仙人様、どうかお姿を見せてくだされ。
なんかよくわからない話だな。
勝利先生は物知りで、師匠でもわからないようなことでも教えてくれるからね。来る時に見かけたよ。
それじゃあ出発だ。
じゃあヨーヨとナナは小刀作りの続きをしてるね。
バイバイ。バイも旅人。
Morning. Split bamboo. Traveler. Oh no. I got it wrong again.
Mr. Zhongli is having tea at third round knockout. Good luck!
I'm used to sensing things with Kuvaki. It reveals the truth of things better than seeing does. Still, curiosity does sometimes get the better of me, and I open my eyes to take a peek. That's the nice thing about having an eye mask with holes. The three goddesses bestowed their powers upon me, which converged into a force that is both dazzling and gentle. Through it, I can feel their attachment to this place, and I can sense the hopes and wishes they offered to this world in their final moments. I will inherit their moonlight and use it to illuminate the world beneath the moon. The place we all call home. Oh, we kept in touch until a short while ago. I asked her to recommend some books for me to read to the Kuhengi. She sent a whole lot and even gave me detailed explanations about the inspiration and setting for each one. I asked her when I might be able to read a book she had authored herself, but then I suddenly stopped hearing from her. Perhaps she went off to write one. The Hydro Dragon who serves as the Eudex of Fontaine? Another dragon who puts people in prison. I'm not sure I'd want to meet him. If we cross paths during my journey, I'll be sure to say hello. The first time I sang in the gardens of Zapoliarny Palace, the Tsaritsa happened to pass by. She stood there, silent and motionless, like a statue with no expression carved onto the face. For a moment, I felt as if she wanted to say something to me, but she never did. She seals her emotions beneath thick sheets of ice. The outside world sees but one side of who she is, that of the Tsaritsa. If the answers I sought rest on the moon, perhaps hers lie buried in snow and ice. He's quite the opposite of his code name, and that seems to be intentional. Although he's known as the Jester, his tone is stern and serious, and he speaks in confusing riddles. The mask he wears depicts a grin that mocks the world, but he himself never smiles. Many respect him, but just as many fear him. Is that too confusing? Well, you see, creatures accustomed to living in darkness will never choose to get close to the light. It's too dangerous, for light would only lengthen their own shadow. There was a time when the doctor took care of me, even claiming to think of me as his sister. It was only later that I discovered, the closer you are to him, the more freely he uses you. What's a little discomfort among family? We endure for each other, surely. That's how he thought of things, and I could tell he meant it. But I didn't want to have to endure. Expectations like that, they took me back to my first home, and the eyes staring up at me from beneath the altar, so full of greed. The House of the Hearth is home to many children, and it can get quite noisy. The first time I heard them call Arlecchino father, I thought it was a rule that had to be followed there. So, the next time she passed by, I used that title as well. That's when I learned just how quiet the House of the Hearth could become. I can teach you to talk just like him. All you have to do is combine the words money, that darn pantalone, and mark my words. Here, I'll show you. Where's the money? Mark my words, I'm going to kill that darn pantalone. Or, that darn pantalone is going to cough up the money. Mark my words. See? Isn't that fascinating? I wonder, does the key on her back ever stop turning? Does it change direction? Does she remove it when she sleeps? How does she roll over? I've been curious about that key ever since I first met her. But since we weren't close then, it didn't seem right to just go up and touch it. So whenever I had the chance, I would follow behind her, trying to figure out the pattern of its movement. But one day, she suddenly turned around and demanded to know why I kept following her. After I told her the reason, she said, "If you're that curious, why don't I put one on your back, and you can see for yourself?" So I lived with a key on my back for a few days, and it was quite the challenge. Sandrone doesn't have it easy, so I've looked out for her even more since then. I'm not sure what counts as death for a puppet. All I know is, Sandrone isn't moving, and I can't feel her operating. Her key is just stopped. And all because of the technique she used to bring me back. She said she was going to get back at me that one time. How I wish that's all this was. Just an attempt to scare me. In his eyes, everything and everyone has a price tag, and he gets to decide their value. We're all just bargaining chips he can use to expand his ever-increasing empire of wealth. But who would want to visit a boring empire like that? Not me, that's for sure. If he saw me now, I'm sure his smile would hide even more contempt than before. I can almost hear it now. Congratulations, Miss Columbina. Your value has appreciated. If metamorphosis ends in one's wings being engulfed in flame, perhaps remaining in the cocoon is how one survives. but I doubt Rosaline ever considered making that choice. Or perhaps she had determined her own end from the very beginning. Whether it was love, hate, or a simple dance, she gave her whole self to her pursuits and left others to sing her dirge after her departure. I've heard he has a good relationship with his family. They go camping together and have barbecues by the lake. Sandrone says he's the harbinger who lives most like an ordinary person. I don't really understand ordinary people, but that kind of life sounds nice to me.
We seem to have covered quite some distance together. I am reminded of an age when both the Fae and humans roamed free in Snezhnaya. Our races share many things in common, and I once presumed that we must share a similar ancestry. Now, I believe that what truly unites us is a common spirit. The spirit that gives rise to all things good and kind. Members of the Lightkeepers are under no obligation to stay, and many do in fact leave shortly after joining. Only the most determined persevere, and Itlua is one such example. It is common to admire those who display wit and cunning, but to me, determination is a far more valuable quality. Although Nodcry is technically a part of Snezhnaya, you won't hear us habitually refer to Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Who's us? The Lightkeepers, of course. Who else?
Linnea is an advisor to the Adventurers Guild. I heard that she has extensive knowledge in the life sciences. So I wanted to ask her if she has ever met any other autonomous mechanical life forms like myself. But every time she sees me, she turns around and runs away. Reason: undetermined.
So, I hear you defeated the mighty Rite Shogun? I recall the days when she was a Kagemusha, seeking to perfect her martial prowess. She now no doubt employs a wide range of reasoning to get you to train with her. Oh, but yes, come close and I shall let you in on her weakness. Desserts. Have you seen that gentleman around? Huh? He's just a normal man by the name of Zhang Li now? That must be quite the change for that old blockhead. Come with me to see him, will you? I have a vintage I dug up from Windrise that I can take as a condolence gift. Oh, did he still seem strong when you saw him? How strong? Am I likely to get blown away? The first thing you think of when you hear Dendro Archon is her power over dreams. Her dreams are akin to my ballads, full of emotion and imagination. It goes without saying that we get along really well. A bard must be versed in both music and song, but a stage performer requires far more skills than just these. Hey, don't you think we should invite her over to put on a show at the next Windbloom Festival? Huh? You want me to talk about how she saved Fontaine? Well, I mean, she's such a talented artiste, it's no wonder. I wouldn't be surprised even if she'd saved the entire world. This world sure is cruel, forcing generation upon generation of human heroes to become cannon fodder in the fight against darkness. But, under Mauika's leadership, they achieved a truly godlike feat. Starting with her, I suppose the Natlanese have always been like that. Ah, right! I heard Mauika likes to drink. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
At one time, he was Master's rival. At another, they were best friends, apparently. I had hoped he might give me some more information about Master, but the moment he recognized my style of blade work, he got very agitated and demanded to know Master's whereabouts. I don't want to deal with him. Hopefully I don't run into him again anytime soon. Lost power is always reclaimed in the end, in some shape or form. But where will this power lead? To a trial? To revenge? Or toward a new future? It's a question that strikes at the heart of his quest to find the meaning of his existence. And perhaps deep down, he already has his answer. I wonder if becoming human was an evolution or regression to her. How did it feel, witnessing the self-destruction of her species firsthand? I considered asking her these questions when we first met, but given her personality, I thought better of it. I think I'll just leave her alone to work on her sculptures.
Nothing will stop me from rendering judgment on each of the 7. As the Archon who won the authority of Geo, Deus Ori must be called to trial. If one does not wish to see us on opposite sides of a conflict, they need not worry, for I intend to stay in Fontaine for the foreseeable future, which could well mean another 400 years. As another point of consolation, even when the trial eventually takes place, it is still not a given that the judgment will lead to a physical confrontation.
The Pyro Archon triumphed over the Abyss by leveraging rules and legacy. A truly commendable feat. Yet holding an authority seized from the dragons remains an unpardonable sin. I recognize, however, that Natlan has experienced great suffering, so I am in no hurry to act. You claim that historical records describe the battle against Xbalanque as a formal duel, and the victim's family was treated fairly? Complicated indeed, but a worthwhile consideration nonetheless.
Nothing will stop. As a survivor of the dragon race who has regained my full dragonhood, I must fulfill my oaths and obligations, even if it means returning all the water in the oceans back to the heavens. In taking the authority of Electro, the Narukami placed herself on the list of the usurpers. She will... Oh, you say she has isolated herself in the plane of Euthymia, and now rarely appears in public. Then I shall pay her a visit in another few centuries.
I used to take long walks in Silver Moon Hall every day, so don't worry about me. I can keep up.
curious.
Impressive, right? What's with all the commotion over here? Oh, Traveler and Paimon! Perfect timing! I have something amazing to show you! What is it? Huh? What the? Heart of the Moon is blacked out! Was it really eaten by a giant toad?
Huh. I didn't expect you to know the story of Jonju the Moon Devourer, Paimon.
Don't underestimate Paimon. She learned a whole bunch of things in Sumeru.
But Jonju the Moon Devourer is a Liyue legend.
Well, knowledge knows no borders, so there.
You're right about that, Paimon. But this dark circle doesn't look anything like a toad to me. A toad's egg, maybe? But that's about it. Oh, wait, Traveler! You've been in Nodcry, right? The people there worship the moon goddess, so you should know what's going on here. Really? Not even in a place where people worship the moon? Huh.
Oh yeah! Master told me that the tale of Jianzhu, the Moon Devourer, was how ancient people explained a certain celestial phenomenon.
But what is it exactly? Some kind of omen of disaster?
How so?
Oh, but in this picture, the moon is being covered from the center. So this can't be a normal eclipse.
Then it's still an omen of some impending calamity?
We never said that! Ugh, some crazy customer left it at the restaurant. Just thinking about it gives me the chills.
Attention, everyone! As the auspicious festival season approaches, I have an announcement to make. I, Lu Xiong, am on the verge of becoming one of the most renowned archaeologists in all of Liyue Harbor. No, scratch that, in all of Tibet. Even though I never trained at a prestigious academy, I've still managed to dig up tons of treasures. And I understand practically a whole dictionary's worth of big words, too. Like my pops always says, no pain, no gain. And I haven't had it easy, that's for sure. So, it's definitely my turn to make a name for myself.
What's the deal with her?
No idea. Maybe she ate a bad batch of perch stew?
What? You don't believe me? I'm telling you, I dug up treasures from the ancient nation of Longan. I even got a picture of Jeonju devouring the moon.
Longan? Jeonju? What is she even talking about?
Sounds like she's a few perches short of a stew, if you know what I mean.
So what if blackback perch stew is my favorite? Stop talking about me like I'm not here.
Whoa, what are you doing?
You're just a stupid, ignorant man, and I'm gonna kill you.
Young lady, you need to calm down.
What? So you're looking down on me now too? How about I take you both out then? How does that sound?
This is a place for dining. If you wish to take me out, you'll have to do it elsewhere.
Don't act like you're better than me. Do you know who I am? I'm about to be the most famous archaeologist in all of Liyue. No, Tibet! Show me some respect.
It's respect you want? Very well. For the sake of the other customers, we'll do this your way.
What? So Shen has started the fight? She had no choice. The woman pulled a shovel out of nowhere and started going crazy, flipping tables left and right. She even injured 2 other customers. Shenna did what she had to do to restrain her, then took her to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Thank goodness Aunt Shenhe was there. Or who knows what might have happened.
Yeah. I started cleaning up after all the commotion, and that's when I found this photo. I thought it might be the one she dropped, so I rushed over to show someone.
She said she took a photo of Jeonju the Moon Devourer. This must be it.
Can we really trust what she said, though? Clearly, something is going on with her.
Paimon's got a point. It sounds like she wasn't acting right at all. How do we know she wasn't possessed by some kind of evil spirit?
Aunt Shenhe would have noticed if she was possessed.
All right. But what about the part about Longan and the treasure she found?
What about it?
What if she raided a tomb and dug up some super special relic, then got herself haunted by an ancient ghost? One so powerful that even Miss Shenhe couldn't sense its presence.
Your imagination is something else, Hu Tao. Why would an ancient ghost come to Wanmin restaurant, huh? To eat my blackback perch stew?
Hey, it could happen. I'd want to eat your food if I was a ghost.
Wait a second. She mentioned the ancient nation of Longan, right? Paimon's heard that somewhere before.
You know what? My brother mentioned that some ancient artifacts were unearthed in Liyue recently. Mostly colored glass, fine jade, and bronze relics. Some of the text inscribed on them has already been deciphered. There were some poetic verses, but the word Longan popped up as well.
So, does that mean this Longan place is real? Still, Paimon knows we've heard the name somewhere before. Do you remember, Traveler? Right! His ancestor heard about it from the White Horse Adeptus. The White Horse Adeptus? Oh, so you must have been to see the giant lantern already. Yep. And it turns out that the White Horse Adeptus is super mysterious, too. Even Madame Ping hasn't met her.
Wait, I thought she was the gold-eyed Celadon mare of the 8 Adepts.
That's just the interpretation you believe in, Hu Tao. There are other theories out there, too. The elders of Qingce village believe that during the Archon War, a white horse leapt from a clear spring, transforming into an Adeptus who aided Rex Lapis in battle. In Chenyu Vale, some of the tribes take her to be the daughter of time and trace her deeds to an even earlier era. Yet in other ancient texts, including the relics I just mentioned, she appears as an emissary who listens to mortal wishes, bestowing the blessings of the heavens and moon upon the mortal realm, which is why we write our wishes on Shao lanterns.
That's so complicated. So what's the verdict? Which version is the truth?
I'm afraid there's no definitive answer to that.
You two have been all over Teyvat. Do you have an idea?
Nope, sorry. We were actually on our way to ask Zhongli. He knows even more about this kind of stuff than us.
Ah, looking for a consultant, huh? He's having tea with Miss Linlong. Shigu Antiques is hosting an exhibition tonight.
An exhibition? For what?
All those antiques Sing Show just mentioned. So if you head to the big ship docked in the harbor tonight, I'm sure you'll find him.
So, where to next? How about we go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs to ask about the White Horse Adeptus? We might be able to find out more about the recent moon situation, too.
If you're heading to the Ministry of Civil Affairs, could you give them this picture for me? Since it belongs to that customer, she deserves to get it back at least. It might even help the Ministry with their investigation.
Alright! We're off!
Oh wait! I almost forgot! Happy Lantern Rite!
Come have a meal with us when you're free. We'll be there, or we'll be... square.
Thinking about it now, could it be possible that photograph was a fake?
A fake? You mean like the customer fabricated it to gain academic recognition?
Nice one, Chongyun. I never even thought of it like that.
How about we go check out that place tonight? I know exactly where it is.
All right.
I'll get scolded if I get home too late.
Live a little, Sing-Cho. You act like this is a first for you. Worst comes to worst, we'll get Xiangling to cook you something delicious, okay?
Well, when you put it like that, I suppose it's worth the risk.
You were just waiting for the promise of free food, weren't you? Fine. It's a plan, then. We'll meet up tonight.